Ah, Gravity Falls, a show of humor, mystery, and casual viewing. Unless you're me. My name is Christian. You're probably wondering why I'm dressed as Dipper Pines and about to rewatch the entire series. Rest assured, there's a perfectly logical explanation.
Alright, now we'll move on to episode 2, The Legend of the Gobblewonker. And the basic premise of this episode is that Grunkle Stan wants to go on a fishing trip with Dipper and Mabel, but they find that extremely boring. So instead they set out with Seuss to go find the legendary Gobblewonker and try to find photographic evidence of it, and win a cash prize, which Dipper just wants to use to become a world-famous mystery hunter, and Mabel wants to use to buy a human-sized hamster wheel. And right off the bat, we get a couple of Easter eggs. We start off the episode with Dipper and Mabel having a syrup race, and after they finish, Dipper goes through his wacky news magazine, and that's when he finds the advertisement for the photo contest. And if you look at the back of the magazine, you'll see an advertisement for Little Gideon's Tinted Telepathy. And the character of Little Gideon will definitely be a huge character moving forward in the series, as well as the location of the Tinted Telepathy. We also get a call back to the previous episode, where Dipper and Mabel are talking about their previous encounter with the supernatural that they could potentially use for photo evidence to win the contest. And Dipper brings up their encounter with the gnomes, and Mabel brings up a beard hair from one of the gnomes. And Dipper's like, why did you keep that? And then Mabel's like, And we also get a couple more Easter eggs. We get a brief glimpse of Stan's tattoo, which is kind of incidental at this point, but will definitely become more important later on. We also get a glimpse of Stan's license plate that says Stanley Mobile, and that kind of gives the audience a little hint at, wait, is his name Stan Lee or is his name Stanford? We also see Stan's boat, which has the title Stanowar on it, and the name Stanowar will definitely be an important element as the series goes on. And we actually get introduced to a ton of new characters. We get introduced to the character of Old Man McGucket, who's like a crazy hillbilly inventor character, and he'll definitely be a huge part as the series goes on. And it's funny because the creator of the show, Alex Hirsch, and the creative director, Mike Miranda, just wrote Old Man McGucket as like a one-and-done character. But then the producers at Disney liked him so much, and they're like, oh, you gotta break out star with this character. We're definitely looking forward to seeing him more in the series. So then Mike and Alex had to write even more for that character and expand on him even more. And the reason why he's so crazy is because he keeps bringing up all these different monsters that keep attacking the town, including the legendary Gobblewonker. But everyone just dismisses him and thinks he's just a crazy old man, as said by the character of Sheriff Blubbs. We're also introduced to several other characters like Tate McGucket, who's kind of like the park ranger at Gravity Falls, and Old Man McGucket's son, and doesn't really want to have anything to do with his dad because he's so crazy. And during that whole scene, we actually see Blend and Blandon in the background picking up Mabel's calculator. We also get introduced to the characters of Kraz and Zyler, who are kind of like these dream boys that Mabel imagines when she has that fantasy of the human-sized hamster ball. We also get introduced to the character of Lazy Susan, who is the owner of Greasy's Diner, and the reason why she's called Lazy Susan is because she has a lazy eye that never opens. We also get introduced to the character of Manly Dan, who's like this big tough lumberjack character, who's actually the father of Wendy Corroy, which we find out later on. We also get introduced to the character of Tyler Cupiker, who's like this tiny wannabe biker character who has the white tank top and cutoff shorts and boots, and he's always saying, get him, get him. We also get introduced to the character of Toby Determined, who's like this wannabe reporter for the Gravity Falls Gossiper, and nobody really takes him seriously because he always brings like a turkey baster as a microphone, or he brings like a center block for his camera. And we also get introduced to the character of Deputy Derland, who's the deputy to Sheriff Blubbs, and they kind of have this bromance going on because the writers wanted to kind of flip the whole cliche of the police sheriff always making fun of the deputies, so instead they wanted to have them be more like best friends. But then as the story continues, Dipper, Mabel, and Stan go on their fishing trip, but Dipper and Mabel aren't having a good time, so they decide to meet up with Seuss and go find the legendary Gobblewonker. And then in the meantime, Stan has this little side quest of going to different people around the lake and kind of ruining their different fishing experiences. And there's one joke where Stan meets up with a couple where the boyfriend's trying to propose to the girlfriend, and then Stan comes up to them and has the iconic joke of, my ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better. Her aim is getting better. You see, it's funny because marriage is terrible, hinting at the fact that he has an ex-wife who will get brought up in a later episode. So now as the story continues, Dipper, Mabel, and Seuss kind of have these different hijinks during their adventure as they try to find this legendary Gobblewonker. And they eventually realize that the Gobblewonker is actually a robot built by Old Man McGucket. And the whole reason why he builds robots is because he's trying to gain attention from people. Like he built a robot to gain the attention of his former best friend, and then now he built the Gobblewonker in order to get the attention of his son. And I know initially he's supposed to be like this crazy old man character, but he's actually a really tragic character and actually feel pretty bad for him. So then Dipper and Mabel realize that they kind of abandoned Grunkle Stan, so they decide to reunite with him along with Seuss and have this fun fishing trip, which Mabel highlights in her scrapbook, which will definitely be an important element as the series goes on. And then we get a cryptogram at the end, which translates to next time return to Bud Island, which is a reference to a scene earlier in the episode when Dipper, Mabel, and Seuss come to Scuttlebutt Island, and Seuss sees a sign that says Scuttlebutt Island, puts his hand over the word scuttle and says, hey dude, look, Bud Island, which is actually kind of funny. Yeah, so overall this episode's okay. This is actually the first episode that Alex Hirsch and Mike Miranda wrote, so you can kind of tell it was a little rough when it came to plotting. Then they definitely find their footing as the series goes on. But yeah, it still has like really great moments and really great jokes and really fun characters that are introduced, and overall, yeah, it's not bad.